You are now tapped in with Hood in the Morning. Call in now.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. See, if that's not the realest shit in the world.
What's up? What's wrong?
Just chilling, bro. What's going on with you, man?
Nothing much. What's on your mind?
Why you think something on my mind?
I don't know, it just seems like you got a lot on your mind right now.
I don't know why you think that. I feel like I'm looking regular. Like, you feel like I can't concentrate or I can't focus, and every time I make plans, I do the opposite of my plans. Like, you can see that on me or something?
Kind of, but it's okay because I just got these super stack capsules from my rabbit, and they really been helping me. Here, to try them.
So just take them right now?
Yeah, just take them. How you feel now?
Do I look different?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel better. I feel clear. I gotta wash clothes. I gotta see what my mama and them doing. I got a job to get to. Thank you, random person that I just met. I appreciate these super stack capsules. Where can I get these from?
WhiteRabbitPsych.com.
I'm about to get some more right now. Thank you, bro. I actually feel great, bro.
Yeah.
The Shift Report with the Hood Mystic, where shift happens.
You know, do as thou wilt is what the Satanic Bible says. Live as you please. There's nothing you can't taste, do, snort. You know that's the way you live. Like, that's a fulfilling life. Thinking that there's nothing greater beyond this life. But if you look at, there are soul ties. I mean, if you get on a spiritual level, every person you sleep with, that is a spiritual connection. Like, whether you knew it or not. And bad things can come from that, and doors are open, just like when you do a drug. These are opening spiritual doors.
Absolutely.
For oppression from, let's talk about it. I mean, but we're living in a society too, that it's idol worship. We're literally like, it's
hedonism.
Yeah. Hedonism. And the love, we have, everybody's looking to their idols and celebrated themselves. I want to be famous. So it's just, and it's the dopamine from the clicks and being celebrated and wanting that fame and fortune, and that all ends, in a dark path. In the end of, I mean, you've seen how many Hollywood child stars and just people that have had all that and are still not fulfilled, on a deeper level. And this woman, I can tell you that she's not. There's no way she could be happy.
She might be happy.
Temporary
for a minute there.
For a minute, but
you were saying about how every person you sleep with, there's a soul. There's also a scientific thing where actually, for a woman, every man you sleep with, your DNA is their DNA stays with you.
I've read that.
Seriously?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to think about that one.
That's a scary thought.
From my experience growing up, especially in university, seen on the outside having casual sexual relationships as this fun thing. It's not fun, and nobody thinks it's fun, especially women. So if you're around other girls and they're like, oh yeah, I hooked up with this guy, none of you guys are actually enjoying that. And I think that's a lie that women tell each other. I think because they think other people don't care. And because if you do it, it makes you feel bad enough that you're like, well, I don't want to look at that. Me feeling bad is not healthy. Or there's something wrong with you, right? And it's unpleasant enough that you're like, well, I'll just, keep going. It's already happened. There's nothing I can do about it. Might as well be okay, because what am I going to do about it if it's not okay? For anybody out there who's thinking, maybe I don't want to do that. It's not fun. It doesn't make you feel good. It's really lonely. It's not a good idea.
You were on the Young King Tell stream the other day, and one of the topics of conversation that came up was body count. He was inferring that maybe you should stop talking about it so frequently in your music.
Yeah.
You maybe had other thoughts. Talk to me. How did this even come up in the first place?
Be a boss. Don't let everybody put their hand in that cookie jar. Period. Like, it's literally not that deep. I'm pushing, like, be a boss. Like, don't let everybody have access to you.
Do you feel like
I think men should be like that, too. Y'all just be slanging that motherfucker around.
You know, y'all, I'm one of his children, so.
Okay, right.
I'm a good man, but maybe some men out there are different. I can't speak for everybody else.
Right.
But why do you feel like, though, for the women, they should not be allowing men to put their hand in the cookie jar, like you said?
Because they're not deserving of it.
What if they are? What if they are good men?
Then give them some of that cookie.
But what if it's more than 5?
I never said that was a bad thing. Why does me popping my, I never said that was a bad thing.
It just felt like you're very proud to, like, have...
I am, though.
But why? Where does the pride stem from?
It's not necessarily like a number that I'm proud of. It's more so like, everybody ain't touched this. Everybody ain't had their hands on this motherfucker. You feel me? So...
It's a prize.
That's a prize. It's a prize. I like that for me.
Okay.
Let's get into the realness. We got a lot of moms also that have fathers that do want to be dads, but they're so vindictive and bitter with the dad that they'd rather their son fail than have the father in a child's life.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I've had conversations with moms. I'm like, where the daddy at? I'll make contact with the dad. Dad say, I live in North Carolina or I live in this city, but she never wanted me. They'd have moved on, got kids of their own with their new wife or whatever like that. She never want me to see him. I'm like, mama, send that boy to go stay with his daddy. He don't need the Extra Voice program. He needs his dad. Send him with his father. What are you doing besides sitting up here complaining about you doing it by yourself? It's like moms have this new thing now where they proud. It's like they have to say, I'm doing it all by myself and I'm trying and I love my child and putting them on Facebook and pretending you was a parent at graduation and they turned out to be some terrible person because you was too proud to keep their father in their life. I've run into that so many times. Just send the child to stay with his father. You don't need him. You don't need to be trying to raise him by yourself. Send him with his dad because he needs his actual father. He don't need somebody trying to get to play father. He needs his real father. But because they are so bitter and the court system, which I hate, benefits mothers more than fathers who want to be dads. It hurts kids. It hurts children.
55% of marriages end in divorce. 90% of your relationships that are started before they are 30 end. If those were the stats for surgery, none of us would fucking risk it. But because it's love and we're stupid, we just lie on the operating table like maybe this time I won't die inside. My generation has become so obsessed with starting the rest of their lives that they're willing to give up the one they are currently living. We have romanticized the idea of romance and it is cancerous. People are more in love with the idea of love than the person they are with.
Severely, he screwed my life up. I've waited for my husband for so many years, and I'm just getting mad. What kind of world do we live in where a normal, regular girl cannot find just a regular guy out here to date?
They're telling women to be just like men, be as promiscuous as you want, just behave like a man. Yeah. Climb the corporate ladder, get degrees. And now you have women that are in their late 30s and like, I did the corporate ladder, I have the house, I have the Tesla, I've paid off my debt, I've decorated my house beautifully, I'm a wonderful cat mom to my 3 cats. Why can't I find a man? I'm attractive. It's like, because you've basically turned yourself into a man. You've accomplished all the things that a man is supposed to accomplish to attract a woman, and now you've priced yourself out of the dating market. There's very few men out there that, again, hypergamy, that are at your level or higher. And these guys that are at your level or higher, they're not looking for a 40-year-old boss bitch. They want a 25-year-old hottie that looks beautiful in a bikini.
Peace to the tribe, peace to the collective. So Mystic with another video, man. Today we're going to be talking about the healing of the original womb. Venus conjunct Chiron and Aries. This is the shift report where shift happens. I'm your host, the Hood Mystic. Without further ado, man, let's get to this conversation, man. Hopefully everybody is doing well out there. Me, I'm doing just fine, man. Just working on myself, getting better as the days go, you know. But yeah, just trying to make it work, you know. Far as that's concerned, I've been what people would say is busy, but you know, I call it just knee deep in my purpose. So I don't have as much time to do videos, but that's not because I want it to be like that. So with that being said, I'm more or less focused on doing more videos, being more active on the platform because as everybody know, this is what I love to do, right? This is what I love to do. So I'm looking at the chart and I'm looking at Venus conjunct Chiron at the beginning of Aries. And so, real quick, as much as I don't do videos, I'ma still take the time or create the time. You know, I made an eighth day in a week, you know, to write this article in reference to the new moon that just took place last weekend. Well, last week rather, the new moon in Taurus. I did an article for that. And so be sure to check out my Substack. Check out this article. Set your new moon intentions. I got a worksheet here called The Formula for Success, where you're utilizing 6 planetary principles in order for you to achieve your intention. We still have a week until the full moon, so it's still a good time, as always, to be intentional. Now, I'm just letting y'all know that the article is there, but the real reason for me to bring up the Substack is to point out the new moon before that. We had a new moon in Aries. And in this article, I broke down just the basic tenets of Aries, and I'm bringing that to the forefront just in case you get lost in this conversation and you're like, well, what does new moon in Aries have to do with Venus conjunct Chiron? Because it's in Aries, and Aries energy is very it's very abstract. Let's just say that. It's a very abstract concept to whereas people get confused on what it means. But because Aries is abstract, astrology as a whole is abstract because we're initially supposed to start with Aries energy. So ultimately, when you're talking about it, you're talking about death and you're talking about rebirth. Aries is the first sign, but it's also like after you come out of the 12th house, it is the sign that represents rebirth or starting again. So, how do we understand this process as humans? We understand this process as reincarnation. What is so powerful about reincarnation is that the thing that's powerful about reincarnation is that Whatever you did in that past life, you still got to account for it. You still have to deal with it. You still have to address it. You still have to have some recollection of what's going on. And if you don't have any recollection of what's going on, you enter into this dimension, this life, being completely confused. But imagine 1,000 lifetimes where you have forgotten the original karma that you have to solve. So this is why it's abstract. This is why spirituality is abstract. And it's so abstract. People can just start saying whatever they want to say. The worst thing about being in the public and dealing with people on a day-to-day basis is that now I gotta hear all of the mumbo jumbo that you heard from this person. Person heard it from that person, and there is no succinctness when it comes to spiritual information. And it's getting worse by the day because we didn't had TikTok for 4 years. TikTok was a problem in 2020. I can imagine what it is doing to people's brains in 2025. Why would anybody have a TikTok app on their phone? I post on TikTok, but I'd be damn if I scroll on that motherfucker. That don't even make no sense. Because why would I want to have my brain be rotted? Why would I want to have a level of disconnection to the self? People say, yeah, man, I scrolled on TikTok for 3 hours. What? It's like the moment I wake up, that's why I'm doing this video so early, because every damn minute of my life is accounted for. So at what point do people have time to do this shit? And I'm bringing all of this in full circle because if we don't understand what's taking place in real life and we just shirk it off like, it's just normal. It's just, you know, the times of the time, we will never get into real energy and true knowledge of self. As much as a person can get on here and, upload guided meditations, right? Talk about doing things that is in reference to, you know, finding God within yourself, going out into nature, immersing yourself out into nature. Even, I realize you got a backyard or you got a front yard or you got a porch. And if you ain't got none of that, it's parks. You have to get into the space where me and you can meet within our meditation. We shouldn't have to be relying upon the internet for us to have conversations. Because at a certain point, when y'all talk to me, I hear the spirit in what y'all are talking to me as, and then that inspires me to keep forward with everybody that I talk to is a representation of y'all. Because we poured in and we built this understanding and knowledge together. Because when I'm talking to y'all reflecting to me y'all knowledge, y'all divinity. And I'm just out in the world like a prism, shooting that shit out. So I'm saying all of this to say we want certain things to happen in this world right now. Because we were given a bad hand. And what had happened is, if y'all ever played spades, we got dealt 11 cards. And everybody else got 13 or 12 cards. So we got an uneven deal. So whenever that happens, when you playing spades, you got to reshuffle and redeal. So what I'm saying is the first part of this Venus conjunct Chiron energy is death. The first part of this Venus conjunct Chiron energy is Kali. Utilizing the energy of Kali in reference to yourself. You have to kill the dead parts of you that do not exist in this space time dimension and moving forward. No more Mr. Nice Guy. So when you talk about the yoni, you're talking about an aspect of life, but you can't have life without death. This is why when you having casual sex, when you having tender sex, when you having hinge sex, when you having dinner date sex, you are celebrating the culture of death. You are disconnecting yourself from the soul. Is sex bad? No. But when you just having it with people that you don't even know their middle name, you are entering into a dimension that you cannot come back from. Man or woman. So many men have wasted their purpose behind chasing sex. So, of course, the first aspect of the Aries energy, which is symbolized by the yoni, which is symbolized by Kali, is death. But what you have this inadvertent unconscious death that feels good, and then you have divine supreme death that transcends you. How does it transcend you? Because all of that shit that you holding on to is dead weight. It's nothing that you need right now besides yourself. Because this whole system, it has to collapse. Venus conjunct Chiron energy, you dealing with the thing that you love the most. And the thing that you love the most is your soul, whether you know it or not. What you are looking for right now is your soul. What you are trying to figure out, what you are trying to establish, the success you're looking for is you cultivating a relationship with your soul. Trying to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, trying to make it in life without self cultivation, you will be asked out. Cali is not for you to send on somebody. Let's look at this real quick so we can get a real understanding. Let me get into these comments too. Peace to the chat. I want us to look real deeply at this symbolism so we can understand and understand what's going on. Very true, on point in the energy. Cali came to my vision just the other day. I don't truly think on Cali, but the energy showed up 2 days prior. Kyrie, you're always on cue with spirit and always in alignment. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yes, yes. That's all that matters. The first relationship to establish is with the soul, the internal compass. And so, all right, with that being said, let's look at the chart, right? If you see Chiron conjunct Venus is literally at the beginning of the chart. So our first relationship, our first wound is when we want to have a relationship with somebody, something, some experience more than we want to have a relationship with ourselves. That is when we are lost. And we've all been like bungee jumping. You jump off the plane and you just suspended in midair. That's your life when you don't have knowledge of self. You subject to anything. Because how do you know? The reason most people know is because they trust white people. No offense, no shade, not meant to be derogatory, but white people know they come from a colonist background. They know that they've colonized this whole entire country. And not only the country, but the institutions that teach, public schools, universities, They're not teaching you how to build yourself up. They're teaching you how to destroy yourself from the inside out. Because in kindergarten, you should have been taught about your motherfucking soul. When do you learn about your soul? At what point through this imperialist system that y'all love referencing, statistical data, when did they reference the soul? Because white people don't reference the soul, that means that the soul don't exist. So, in order to get to the original point of all of this shit, because whatever you talking about, it do not fucking matter. It matters to you, but the impact on the world is not going to matter. And you know why? Because you caught up in the ego and you don't realize the poison of the materialist world. We talking about depression. We talking about anxiety. We talking about stress. We talking about looking at this world and it ain't no end in sight. It ain't no solution in sight. It is dog eat dog. Rent is $6,000 in New York and California. $6,000 a month. It ain't no way we gonna make it without our soul. It is no way you gonna make it in this country, in this world, in this time without spiritual development. But niggas is not invoking Kali for real. Niggas is scared of Kali. Niggas is afraid to start over. What do you mean start over? Chop your motherfucking head off. All of those heads on see all that you see in this picture is one person. You have your lower self, you have your higher self, but in this picture, the higher self and the lower self is inverted. And when the higher self and lower self is inverted, it is Kali. The same way when Venus is inverted, she becomes Lucifer. The reason that I know this is because there is no differences in truth. Metaphysical concepts, Hindu mythology, spirituality is about one thing, and it's about you. But if you don't understand reincarnation, do you see this chain that Shiva has on? That is the many lifetimes of the same person, dog. That's the same person around her neck. It's not different people, bro. What I'm saying is, you are so powerful. You are so important. But I almost guarantee that you don't even see yourself. You don't even know yourself. Because you are fixated in this life. And this life is the main head that she's holding in her head. That's the new nigga that Kali have to take out. Because Shiva can't do it. Shiva got the hood rats, the gangsters, the drug dealers, the CEOs. Shiva like, y'all all can come, we can all hug and kiss and do all of these things. It's all about enlightenment and peace. Kali like, no, I'm gonna just cut your head off because we don't need you here. And until you ready to, like, so many people is being so nice to themselves in reference to the parts of themselves that don't allow them to move forward. What does this look like in real life? You waking up every day doing the same shit and ain't going nowhere with your shit. And then you like, man, I really want to change. Cut that motherfucking head off. And I'm talking metaphorically. Don't take my words literally. We're talking metaphysics here. We're talking about the part of you, which is a mentality, which is an emotion, which is a disposition, and you have to end it. Oh, I'm depressed. Cut it off. Oh, I'm sad. Cut it off. Man, I'm stressed out. Cut it off. So, once again, this is where we get into spiritual magic and power. This is why we invoke Kali. This is why we invoke visualization. This is why we invoke psychedelics. See, you just sit with Kali, bro. You just sit with Kali and you meditate with Kali and you invoke Kali and you kill off the parts of yourself that are no longer necessary. See, nobody is going to tell you this shit because nobody knows. Because most people are stuck in this life. They don't even understand the fucking diamond chain around their neck of past lives that they've already killed on purpose. Just so you could be your highly evolved self, just so you can be in a space where the thing that's bothering you is no longer bothering you. It's somebody, and no matter where you go in life, it's always going to be somebody that meets your energy with it. Like so, it's a thermodynamic law where when you have a positive situation, it matches with a negative situation. This is how you know you in a good space. But how you know you in a good space is because it's another colloquial saying that we say: if you ain't got haters, you're not really doing shit. So when you think you're really doing shit and everybody kissing your ass and everybody giving you hugs, you start to realize, well, shit, I'm really not making no motion for real because you would notice that your most saddest, depressive times is when everybody is loving up on you, giving you hugs, rubbing you on your asses, telling you, oh, you look cute today. You know how many times you looked at somebody who looked crazy and you ain't know what else to say, but you look cute today? Don't take that shit as no goddamn compliment. You don't need people to compliment you. You don't need people to validate you. See, we have been lied to in reference to what we need to do out here in these streets. You need to cultivate a sense of self awareness every single day. I at least tell my kids 7 times. I got 4 boys that I'm talking to, got a little girl, but I'm definitely going to instill in her self awareness. You are here in this world and it matters. Because back to the technology conversation, motherfuckers think that this shit is Roblox or Minecraft, Fortnite. Niggas don't even think that this shit is real life. So if you think this is a video game, you don't have to be self-aware. You could just exist. But the downloads is real. The spiritual information is real. The next transition, the next steps you're going to have to take is real. And you can't be relying on these spiritual niggas to be guiding you somewhere because they going to guide you off a motherfucking cliff. You need to be intuitive. You need to be spiritual. That means breathing, right? Breathing, because what else are we talking about? We talking about DMT breath work. We talking about, so what's spiritual? Spiritual is meditation, deep meditation within yourself. You don't need people. You don't need, see, God is so good. God is so real. I was talking about a situation with my wife, and then I experienced the situation with my wife, and now I'm explaining it to y'all. I was telling her back in 2006 when I was just opening myself up to spirituality in a way where I was going to like move in this direction. Mind you, it took me like 10 years from 2006 to start a YouTube channel. So Like, take your time with this shit. So I'm opening myself up because I'm getting out of prison around 2006, 2007. I'm in Massachusetts and I'm reading James Allen on my audiobook. I'm reading Wallace Waddles on my, audiobook as I'm taking long walks through the park. Right? I'm learning. It's not resonating, it's not sinking in. I kind of get it, but I don't get it, right? But I want to get it. And then I met this Chinese man at the pond who was so distraught and who was so sad, so empty, so broken. And really, I just prayed with him and prayed for him and laid hands on him. And I told him it was going to be okay. And he felt restored and renewed, so much so he begged me to give me a ride home because I was walking at the time, and went to the ATM and gave me $500. And I was so broke, like I didn't have no money. Right, I'm just getting out of jail. I'm basically walking from my mom's house to the gym back home because I'm just sorting shit out. I don't know nothing about anything, and I'm trying to know. I'm trying to get it. And that was the moment that really taught me something about myself. And then it propelled me further because really, I don't be really worried about shit. I'm always taken care of. But that's a spiritual disposition that I have about myself. So, and then yesterday or the day before yesterday, I was talking to a young lady who has it, man. She has it. And I'm going to make the point in a second. Like, I'm looking at my wife and I'm looking at these young women that are here and they have it and they're beautiful and they're smart and they get it. But they don't see themselves. They don't really see themselves, and so they don't see themselves. I see it, right? But they don't see it within themselves. And my point that I'm making is, if you're not willing to understand how powerful you are and develop that powerful nature within yourself, then it's not just going to magically happen, but you need to start getting with it. Like, in a sense where whatever you gotta do, you're willing to do it for the sake of the fact that you see yourself. And sometimes you don't see, like, I naturally didn't see myself. It took me the breath work, it took me the meditation, it took me the psychedelics, and the psychedelics combined with the breath work. And now I'm getting to the understanding that the more breath work you do, the less psychedelics you need because the breath work is activating the DMT within your lungs and within your brain. This is what you're going for. Success is not going to release DMT in your pineal gland. Money is not going to release DMT in your pineal gland. Unifying with black people is not going to release DMT in your pineal gland. Unifying with women, ideologizing feminist talking points is not going to release DMT in your pineal gland. Going full throttle and red pill ideologies, misogynist talking points is not going to release DMT in your pineal gland. You must do the spiritual work. And all of these things that y'all going to and radiating to, getting hugged by these niggas and these women, all of that shit is just people scamming you and stealing your energy. Cause you have to do this work. So it's like one of those things. It's so many different things at the same time, but it's really simple. So I hope that is making sense to you. So let's go to the chart one more time. So we're talking about Venus conjunct Chiron and healing the original wound, right? The original wound is that you have forgotten your soul. And the thing that you love the most is not your husband. The thing that you love the most is not your wife. The thing that you love the most is not your kids. The thing that you want to accomplish the most is not a job. Oh, I'm just so happy I got a job. Oh, I'm just so happy I got a car. You are going to transition out the body and you are going to have a soul, and all of the shit that you did in this life is not going to fucking matter. If you was the first president from the ghetto, it's not going to fucking matter. If you touch, oh, I visited every country in the world, it does not fucking matter. It's nothing you can do on this bitch that's going to matter when you transition out the body. It's all a facade. It's like when your kid come and tell you all of cool shit he did in Robux, and you be sitting there like, oh yeah, for real? You went to the burger shop, you delivered 17 pizzas today, Jimmy? Oh shit. You getting good at this game. All right, that's enough talking about Roblox. Go do something else. Daddy trying to work doing something else. Nobody want to hear that shit. This shit don't matter. Now, what are we looking at? Love, we looking at success, and we like, damn, what you mean, hood? I can't have love and I can't have success. If you gotta manipulate, if you gotta lie, if you gotta trick yourself into having a false relationship that's out of balance, that's not really working, you just in that shit because it feel good, because it sound good, you only fooling yourself. What I'm talking about is doing the breath work, doing the spiritual work, and attracting the real shit, attracting real success, attracting real love, having bliss, like going out in that fucking backyard, bro, in that goddamn swing, nigga, with a blunt. My man make bomb juice where he do some concoction with the goddamn drinks. I'll be drinking half of that shit and sitting in that swing with a blunt. I got this website where it just play random music. I cut on my website with my Bluetooth speaker. I got my little footrest. Nigga sitting in that swing, nigga. I just hate being bothered. At that point, just don't talk to me. I like it's the morning, waking up in the morning, going outside, nigga. I ain't said nothing that was amazing, super fantastical. But I'm telling you, niggas don't even go outside in their backyard talking about manhood. I just don't get it. I just don't understand, hood. Like, it's just like you said, go out into nature. I don't got no car. You don't need a car to go out in your backyard, bro. So we're talking we're talking about Venus conjunct Chiron while the sun is in Taurus. The sun is in Taurus, and the interesting thing about Venus is that it rules Taurus. And so, what are we ultimately talking about? Because we can get into some magical shit right now. When we start talking about love, we start talking about possessions, and we start talking about money. But how are we going to get there if we don't heal our wounds? And that's Chiron's conjunction to this energy. So, what is the thing that you should do to figure this energy all the way out? Let me give you the quick rundown. You want to go to astroseek.com. You want to do a transit chart, and you want to figure out what house Aries is in your chart. Once you figure that out, you can intentionally address the wound. So my wife has it in her 12th house. So the wound is more of not understanding your spiritual calling. That's the wound. So what's the solution to the wound? The solution to the wound is to teach even in reference to your wound, which is counterintuitive. We don't never want to teach from our wounds. We want to teach from we want to teach from what's the word I'm looking for? We want to teach from our egos or from what we are good at. But the easiest thing that you can do, and it make it, and you got to get into the mythology, right? You got to get into the mythology because we're talking about reincarnation. So say for instance you was a basketball player in a past life, but in this life you 5'3" and you overweight. And you got knowledge of basketball, like you can coach. Your wound would be, damn, I can't play basketball because I'm too short. But since, it's niggas online that's like out of shape, but they got popping YouTube channels that's talking about basketball. They probably can't even hoop for real. But probably in a past life, they was the best basketball player ever. They was limb bias or something, going too soon. So, and I'm just giving a hypothetical because it works like that. We're talking about your past life trauma that now you come here to teach, depending on the house. So, and then when you get into a space where you're healing and you're teaching, you can really get into your Venus bag. You can really get into your Taurus bag because this is the magic of it. This is the workings of it because most powerful magic on the planet is love magic. And we talking about real deal witches that will hook your ass. Like this chick was trying to look me in the eyes the other day. I said, chill, shorty. Already know what you're doing. It's real live magic going on out here, but let's scale it back. We need to do magic on ourselves. We need to do mirror work. It's ironic that you look so good and you don't see yourself. Like you look good. You put on that outfit, you looked in the mirror, but you didn't see yourself. You didn't fully realize what people saw when they saw you. And that is the first house in astrology. What people see. The first house is ruled by Aries. So what people see is something intentional that you put into the ethers. But if you are wounded, if you are wounded, you won't even care what people see. Y'all ever see somebody looking crazy? Looking crazy as hell? You like, damn, you don't even care? So we talking about your purpose. We talking about your mission. You don't even care? You don't even care. You don't even believe in yourself. You don't even try. That's a wound. That requires healing. How do you address that? You address it with Kali, through the invocations, through the meditation, through the visualization. This works so good. Every negative mentality, every negative thought, you bring out a sword and you cut the fucking head off of it. You ain't never gonna be nothing. Cut the head off. You should go back to your ex. Cut. See, I got Aries in my 7th house. That's why that resonated with me so deeply. Just kidding. Venus is the ruling planet of Taurus, and it is the planet of love and relationships. You can go out of your way to make your friends and family comfortable. You believe in lasting bonds in life. Comfort and luxury are important things in your life. You are attractive and good looking. You value time and you are truly dedicated. So we can encompass all of these into areas in our life that we are either strong at or we are weak at. And then we can only be accountable for our own actions. Because we know, if you any conscious, you knew when you was on bullshit. You knew it. So when shit don't work out, when you on bullshit, you can't be mad at the world. You gotta look at yourself and say, why don't I have as much money as I need? Why haven't I leveled up in the ways that I wanted to level up? What is it about me? It's so easy to blame inflation, being single, having to do it on your own, blah, blah, blah. But these is mentalities. Bring out the fucking sword. Shh, 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 shh. How do you want to be seen? Because you may want to be seen in a certain way, and then you might feel like, damn, can't even do it right now because I don't even got the money to swing it. Address and deal with these wounds because we come up on a new cycle very shortly where things shift, where the dollar collapses and another monetary system rises and we get first dibs. We are in a new system where shit, like y'all know what it takes to have a long lasting relationship. You cannot be in a relationship treating a motherfucker like a slave. Not loving a motherfucker, not doing the things that a man like, not doing the things that a woman like. Like y'all gotta show up in y'all relationships. You can't be no fat nigga. Like, yeah, my girl love me fat. No, she don't. She don't love you that you fat. Oh, my man, he like a bitch. He like when I'm bitchy. No, he don't. He don't like that shit. Stop assuming what the other gender like, bro. That's crazy. And then we'll be sitting here single, like, I just want somebody to accept me for me. What? I just want somebody that just like me for me is the craziest shit. Like when you look at the effort and energy that people put into their appearance, and then you want to like compete, you gotta compete. Cause if you single and you just bumming it, slumming it, crumbing it, your ass gonna stay single. If you want to be single, don't cut off no heads. Keep the same head you have. Keep doing the same shit, and you're gonna keep getting the same results. And being mad at the niggas, being mad at the women, and you never got nothing new ever. You still wearing shit from high school. We talking about natural development of beauty. We talking about effort. So Venus conjunct Chiron is how you show up. And Aries, how you are received, how you are seen. And we are gods, man. What the fuck? We are gods. So therefore, you showing up regular, you just ain't cut off enough heads. You at that same bullshit ass job, you ain't cut off enough heads. You in a toxic relationship, you haven't cut off enough heads. So I want to address this. You might not have any planets in Aries, but Aries always, the constellations always occupies a house, right? So just look at your chart again and try to figure out what house Aries is in, right? And if you understand that house, the message behind that house, then you can figure out what womb you can suss out and what area you can teach in. right? Because a lot of times people don't know what I'm talking about. So let's get into the mythology and the understanding of Chiron so we can have what this is actually what I'm talking about when I'm talking about what I'm talking about. All right. So Chiron was the eldest and wisest of the centaurs, a Thessalian tribe of half horse, half men. Unlike his brethren, Chiron was an immortal son of Titan and a half brother of Zeus rather. When Kronos had a tryst with the nymph Philyra was interrupted by Rhea, he was transformed into a horse to escape notice, and the result was this two-formed son. The rest of the centaurs were also spawned by the cloud Nepheli on the slopes of Mount Pelion in Magnesia, where they were nursed. So this is where I want to talk about the point of Chiron, because it's not hard to wrap your mind around. Chiron was a renowned teacher who mentored many of the greatest heroes. So the main part was that Chiron was a teacher, but Chiron also had a wound. The old Kentauros was accidentally wounded by Hercules when the hero was battling other members of the tribe. The wound, poisoned with hydra venom, was incurable, and suffering unbearable pain, Chiron voluntarily relinquished his immortality. Zeus then placed him amongst the stars as the constellation Sagittarius or Centaurus. So, what is this talking about? This is talking about how Chiron had a disease, which is basically death. And there's nothing that Chiron can do to stop himself from dying. So, in the space of before I die, what am I going to do? I'm going to teach. That is what I'm going to, that is my purpose. And Zeus placed him amongst the stars as the Sagittarius or the Centaurus. So the Sagittarius is the root of all knowledge, right? Our solar system starts in Sagittarius. So what is Chiron teaching? What is Chiron teaching? He is teaching galactic center talk, right? The solar system is located within the Milky Way galaxy, and the Milky Way center, Sagittarius A, is a distinct concept from the zodiac sign Sagittarius, while the sun is part of the Orion arm, a smaller arm within the Sagittarius arm of the Milky Way, and the Sagittarius constellation does mark the location of the galactic center. So, how do I relate that to me and you in this time? How do we get to the galactic center? Do we join Elon Musk and them and get on SpaceX and start traveling to Mars and things of that nature? Or do we get into deep meditation, opening our lungs, closing our lungs, focusing, getting into the abyss, which is within yourself? See, the galactic center is within you. A centaur is just a reincarnated being. So whenever we're talking about fire, whenever we're talking about primalness, we're talking about this particular center that is within you, that is within the universe, because you are a microcosm of the greater macrocosm. You are a mini universe. So to get the knowledge that you need to teach the world, To be the highest version of yourself, you need to go within to your galactic center. You need to decode your dreams. You need to start writing from your heart and then explaining what you are just journaling. It's called automatic writing. But part of teaching is sharing. This is where I lose niggas at, honestly. I hear you, Hood. I hear you, bro. I love what you're saying. I love what you're doing, bro. Keep doing you, Hood. Keep doing it, bro. I'm actually said you should start a YouTube. Keep doing you, bro. I mean, I want to support your platform too. Nah, bro. You that nigga, bro. I mean, my boy Serpent going crazy, posting on TikTok. Yeah, bro. I'm saying y'all doing y'all thing, man. The initiates, Jabri, he just put out a book. Yeah, I mean, I feel what y'all doing, but me, I'm just here to listen to y'all, and support y'all, man. But we want to support. Yeah, man. I was going to join the Discord one day, man. Like, yeah, see. This is where I'm losing niggas at. Teaching, you can't teach in your room, in your closet. Ain't no camera, no mic. You ain't even doing a voice record. Don't be afraid to uplift humanity. Don't be afraid to help people. So this brings me up to now. This is if it's some kids watching, this is the part where the kids can't see. Okay, it's the part that the kids can't see. So let's look at the chart first. We're doing the first decan of Aries, right? Chiron conjunct Venus in the first decan of Aries. The card that rules that first decan is the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands is two ladies getting interviewed for a talk show. Let me zoom out so it ain't so clear, right? They get an interview for a talk show and they just sitting there with their legs open. See, we talking about the first real power. And we talking about, let's talk about how much is the poor corn industry worth? The cornography industry is large and profitable industry with estimates ranging from 12 billion to 97 billion annually in the United States. God damn, that's a lot of good Lord, that's a lot of money. I need to get that sound from I'm gonna get you sucker. Good Lord, that's a lot of money. Girls been talking about feet pics this week. I'm saying Venus conjunct Chiron is Venus in conjuncting Chiron. You want to sell them feet pics? I feel you, ma. I ain't mad at you. You deserve a piece of that 97 billion pie, sis. What's 1%? Let's be real. Let's do 0.1% of 97 billion. You deserve 1.1%, girl. That's 97. Hold on. Let's get the math together. We're gonna get you right. Okay, I gotta get the calculations right. So let's bring out the calculations, man. 0.1 times 9, 7. That's 97,000. 97 million. 97 billion. All right, that's 9 zeros. 0.1% of 97 billion is 97. No, that can't be right. They saying it's 97 million. Goddamn. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That can't be right. That can't be right. Anyway, what is 0.1%, 97 billion? I'm trying to get you right. Trying to get you right. How much is that? That's so many zeros. I don't even know what it is. I don't even know what it is. Oh, it's 9,700,000. 0.1%. So the two of wands, like, we talking about power. And we talking about like how you can help people, how you can heal people. What it's really saying is your presence is enough. Now, I don't want that to go to your head to the point where you feel like you just gotta be a mean presence or a negative presence. It is just the energy of life. You don't know what it feels like to work your whole life and to then have a woman be there for you, right? To support you, to love you, to build with you, to comfort you, to nurture you, to make love to you, right? That within itself, before all of this internet fame and success and money shit poison people's brains, the ways for which people related through bliss and through happiness was coming together. And understanding the power of the yoni, which on the ancient temples and all of the secret files, you see these pornographic symbols and images. And now in this world, you got OnlyFans girls making bank because them is the goddesses. And niggas gonna be mad at the goddess shit that people do. It's like, damn, why you ain't working on your feet at McDonald's? If these hoes was working at McDonald's on their feet, wearing black goddamn combat boots, motherfuckers would be like, that's good, little Jackie got a job at McDonald's standing on our feet for 8 hours. That's good, Rebecca. You got a job at that goddamn call center and you just goddamn answer the phone every 10 seconds. Hi, thank you for calling the March of Dimes Foundation. Would you like to donate? They banging on your ass after 10 seconds. That's good you got that job, Rebecca. I'm proud of you. The moment she say, you know what, I started on OnlyFans, what you gonna do? Oh, girl, you going to hell. I can't believe you doing that. Anything but that, Susie. Come on now. Why don't you work at Walmart and see people steal all day? Like, why don't you do something that's going to steal your soul in a different way? You shouldn't have autonomy over your body. You shouldn't be able to. So, the crazy part about this shit, you go from 20 to 29 doing what? I bet you have a fucking boyfriend. Y'all the same age. He don't even really appreciate you like that. He cheating on you. You don't even realize how. And the thing that steals the joy is when y'all deal with niggas when y'all young. Y'all 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and y'all dealing with boys that's 18, 19, 21, 22. It jades you. It jades you. It's like, you goddamn building a house and you trying to live in it and y'all ain't got no house to stay in. So what I'm saying is from 20 to 29, which is the time for which you really can establish yourself
From now into the future, you spend it having casual, promiscuous boyfriend, girlfriend sex. You ain't made no coin up off of that thing. You got a fucking kid. Nothing wrong with it. But we talking about being able to teach from your womb. And the fact that nobody is gaming y'all up on how to not necessarily take advantage, but why would you not take advantage in a world where motherfuckers is going to take advantage of you in a second, in a heartbeat, without even thinking about it? They will use you. And you don't feel like you need any advice in reference to the magic that you hold by your presence, by your meditation, by your spiritual work, by your ability to infuse herbs, to work with flowers, to work with plants, to go outside into nature, to fully restore your energy to the point that when you show up, people know what it is. For the people that utilize their spiritual work and their spiritual energy, they doing something for money that they love to do, and they making hella money, and they not working hard. If you don't utilize your spiritual energy, you working at a stupid ass job, you ain't getting paid shit, and you hate it there. You can't believe you got to wake up and go to this fuck shit every single day. And your ass still haven't meditated. Your ass still haven't transcended these dimensions. So bring out the sword and cut the head off of the aspect of you that's an ain't shit motherfucker. You got to really look at this shit. And how do you utilize it in a way that you know you're maximizing it? You're helping other people not go through the same shit that you went through. That's the nature of a spiritual person. And at that point, if we all teaching, if we all helping, if we all healing, then the world becomes not even a world, this whole entire sphere, which is a bunch of goddamn different dimensions of people being sleep on. We awaken these dimensions. Like when we are activated and when we show up, the less becomes the more. When we understand that it ain't white supremacy, it ain't none of this shit. It's just whether or not we doing magic or not. And the first magic is the magic of the yoni. The magic of the yoni is how you show up and you succeed and you win and you get the girl, you get the guy, and it's real and it's authentic. You ain't gotta play, you ain't gotta lie. It's a beautiful thing. But once again, we talking about cultivating this energy within ourselves and not bullshitting. So once again, the story that I was talking about earlier about the young lady and the old Chinese man and my wife to a certain degree was in reference to complaining. Motherfuckers love to complain. I complain too, so I'm not really jonesing on nobody. But you can't complain and have dominion at the same time. Dominion, which is dominance, which is like the power. The power is at the beginning. But the subtle need to complain. And complaining is easy. You know why complaining is easy? It's in the etymology. Why is complaining easy? Because you can find fault. You can find fault in anything and everything. You can find fault in your mom. You can find fault in any situation. Is no situation where you can't find fault in. You can criticize anything. So what I'm saying is you can be a divine goddess and the vessel being able to do all types of stretches and poses and feats of strength and all different types of dynamics. But your ass too busy complaining. You complaining, you stress, your ass ain't working out, you're not exercising, you're not loving yourself, you're not moving forward in no type of way because you complaining. You waking up and you finding fault. This morning you woke up and you saw some shit that you didn't like and you just kept going with it. In order to heal the wound in reference to the power that is within this particular house in your chart, you have to begin to stop complaining about shit. Complain about yourself. Oh, hood. My left leg bigger than my right leg, hood. What I'm supposed to do about that? Hood, my girlfriend cheated on me. What am I supposed to do about that? Hood, I hate this job. Hood, I hate this. I hate going here. I hate doing that. Can you learn to express your dominion? Express your power, which is intention, ruled by Mars. Initiation, ruled by Aries. So the intention and the initiation of something should not be factored in by, well, what if it don't work out for me? What if it goes bad? What if it don't work out? Man, if it don't work out, I might as well not even do it. That's not dominion. That's finding fault. That's complaining before it's even some shit to complain about. But it also has to deal with a part of unhealedness in reference to Chiron energy. So just being able to just really process this particular transit moving forward and understanding innate power. And then also understanding whether or not you have access to that innate power. And if you do have access to that innate power, you just live as if nobody is stopping you. This cycle that we were in this cycle at like the beginning of 2022. 2021 going into 2022. This is a repeat of a 3-year cycle. You should have learned from that last cycle, 2021 going into 2022, which is like a prep after 2020. This is how things is going to be. It's unbelievable that things is going to work out in my favor. Wow. And then in that space, you can kind of fuck up because you're not taking shit seriously. You're not balancing your books. You're not investing wisely. You're not doing the things that say, I'm really going to make it out here in these streets. Meditate for a couple of seconds on the fact that you are going to make it. You are going to succeed. Set the intention. Initiate that intention and work through all the things that you got to work through with power, with dominion. Do not complain about a house that's not even built yet. I thought it was gonna be nice, but it don't even got a roof yet. So I don't even know about this building of this house. Like, let it all work out. Right. And in the most simplest way, because I went through all of my slides and all of my notes, and I hopefully said everything that I needed to say in reference to this particular energy. Because it is abstract, it is hard to wrap your mind around because it's in reference to our past lives and wounds that we don't understand that we have, but they definitely show up in people, places, and things, and certain ideologies that we hold within ourselves, whether it be a negative mental habit or an emotional disposition that's negative. We can reestablish ourselves in this life based upon who we know we are to be by simply cutting off the parts of us that are no longer serving us, right? And when we do that, what is left is power. What is left is dominion. We're talking about a raw, natural force that allows us to move into spaces that makes us feel good. So if you feel like you need to, sell feet pics or, do something strange for a piece of change, and you freaky as hell and you can handle it, you might want to do it. You might want to look into it, right? Because you could say, well, it's gonna come back to me and da 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 da, and it's like, yeah, that may be true too. But once again, you finding fault in certain areas of life that if you was working at a job, you would still find those same faults. So, and once again, we talking about real power and we talking about magnetism. So it don't even have to be to the point where you showing it to the public. You can show it to your partner. You know what I'm saying? And that's real power. You know what I'm saying? Put that thing on them. You know what I'm saying? So certain concepts where we can establish real love and real cooperation and really work together through love, through power, through magic. It's requiring black men and black women to be conscious. Gone are the days where you can be a spiritual black woman and deal with a nigga that don't know the difference between a chakra and silk the shocker. Going are the days where you can just deal with a baddie that just look good, and when you trying to reference astrology, she don't get into that shit because she like hood niggas. The real power is when, and I'll read it to you. The four tools symbolize the power created by the union of the king and the queen that initiates force. Those forces are the prince and princess that are not yet brought into action. So before we get into what we're going to actually build, we're going to start with the combination of king and queen energy, right? Understanding the masculine and feminine forces through sexual modalities. We're not going to awaken as a people until black men and black women start to relate to each other consciously, which requires authenticity, which requires honesty, which requires devotion, which requires all of the things that none of y'all is doing right now by fucking a different nigga every weekend, fucking a different girl every weekend. That is not sex magic. That is not spirituality. That's just dumb shit. So awaken yourself at the deepest spiritual level, get into Mantak Chia, right? Get into some form of tantric spirituality. Start reading those books with your partner. Start doing the breath work with your partner. Start doing the nature work with your partner, the psychedelic experiences with your partner, so y'all can get into real power. You don't start a car with just a positive charge. You don't start a car with just a negative charge. In order to start a vehicle, you need a positive and negative charge. That is the law of nature. If you want to get some shit started, we have to start having real conversations. So hopefully this will be a good place to start and we can transcend into, because I already know. Like, I'm so real. If you sold pussy a time or two before, that's fine. Do you got to stop selling pussy to be with me? No. You just got to let me know that's what's going on. We should not be policing each other and holding each other back and judging one another in reference to what's going on, what's really going on. And then be like, I don't sell pussy. I just want to have sex for free. Well, all right. I just want to have sex all day, every day for free. Perfectly fine. But that's not power. That's not conscious. That's materialist. That's hedonistic. That's debaucherous. You know, we talking about sex, consciousness, magic, and healing those wounds from our past. So let me get to these kids. I hear them about to start waking up. Just wanted to get this video out before they actually woke up so I could deal with them and have to get some work done today. So I'm gonna be pretty much used up for the whole entire day. So had to get on here to share with the family. And you know, if you took something from this video, please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I'm not about to mince words with y'all. I'm not about to lie to y'all. I'm gonna kick it real, how I view it, how I see it. Make sure you visit whiterabbitpsych.com for the latest and greatest in psychedelic products. We are the standard when it comes to psychedelics, right? Check us out, whiterabbitpsych.com. If you got any spare change, could you please load up the collection plate at Cash App, $ Hood Mystic 38. Now, I'm not able to do as much lives as I want to, but hopefully that will change in the future as I'm getting used to this new schedule and just understanding, you know, my children and things of that nature. A lot of shit that we go through on a daily basis, but I appreciate the time and the space to share. Hopefully it inspires you to do the same thing. With all of that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this content as we discuss Venus conjunct Chiron in the first decan of Aries, which came up to the formula of healing the original wound, which is not being connected to your soul, but being connected to other people as if that was going to be your salvation. So, hopefully, you know that is not your salvation, and the only salvation is your soul. So, with all of that being said, peace to the tribe, peace to the collective. I'm Hood Mystic, signing out. Peace.
You are now tapped in with Hood in the morning. Call in now.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. See, if that's not the realest shit in the world.
The Shift Report with the Hood Mystic, where shift happens.